I swear to you, it's a different kind. I swear to you. The skin barrier with the health. The two teamed together, I swear, is something magical. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kasia. Today we are talking about Tretinoin 1 month update. Big hello if you are new here, welcome to my new space. Here on my channel I'm documenting my skin journey with adult acne and Tretinoin and what I'm using to help my skin get clearer and keep it in a healthy condition. If that sounds like your thing, please subscribe down below to join the journey as well as the little community we have here. So as usual with my skincare updates, I am here barefaced, completely nothing on the skin. I will obviously get closer so that we can see some close-ups of what is actually going on with my skin, as well as pictures throughout to just show you some of the breakouts I've been having or before and afters as well. So as you know, I've been using my Tretinoin for 1 month. And I am going to try and explain my journey with Tretinoin without being long-winded, especially if you already know from my previous videos. But I started Tretinoin 2 years ago now, which feels crazy to say. I didn't go for a prescription route, I got it overseas, and that way I didn't need a prescription, and I started with 0.05%. I used it way too quickly and my skin was not happy. My skin barrier was really compromised and it just didn't go completely to plan. Pros and cons, of course. I messed up, I made some mistakes, but also I found it hard to navigate. I still don't think it's the easiest thing to navigate. It's pretty easy to just go into it blinded. So anyway, back then I was using 0.05 Ketorel cream, which is Tretinoin, and yeah, I still had issues with it because I still was getting a lot of whiteheads on my chin, and that's when I was like, do you know what, I've had enough, I need to go down a different route. I then ended up going for Dermatica. Dermatica is a subscription service of skincare tailored for you that comes to your door. I started doing that. I have been doing that ever since. As I mentioned, I stopped my Tretinoin and that's when I started Dermatica's treatments, which was predominantly Adapalene, which is another retinoid, and it's a bit gentler, I'm not gonna lie. However, I am back on Tretinoin, 0.05%. This time it's Dermatica's formula. So Dermatica's formula for my skin has the 0.05 Tretinoin with 4% niacinamide and 1% clindamycin. I already have a video of my Tretinoin routine if you want to check that out. That will give you some backgrounds on what products I'm using, how I've been incorporating Tretinoin into my routine again. So let's talk how the month has been. It's been longer than a month. I originally was tracking my use. I kind of stopped doing that because I've slowly just started listening to my skin. Sounds a bit wishy-washy, listen to your skin, but I'll explain what I mean. So previously, I had been using Tretinoin literally once a week because when I was using it more, I saw that my skin was immediately starting to purge. And I have a video on the purge. If you guys are interested, I'll be making a lot more content about purging because it is something that I have dealt with twice now. The first time it happened, it took longer for me to purge. This time round, I'm on 0.05 again. I didn't really expect to be purging. You know, I was actually joking in a sense. I was saying, how much more can my skin purge? Like, how much more is in there? Just to quickly mention what purging is, it's when, in this instance, the retinoid Tretinoin is being used, and that speeds up the skin cell turnover. That's why you get the dry, flaky skin, because it's getting that stuff off your face to reveal fresher, newer skin, and as a result, it kind of gets deep into the skin, brings everything to the surface a bit quicker. That's a lot to deal with. It's not easy, but also not everybody purges, and people purge at different stages. People stop purging at different stages, so it's a difficult one to navigate in that sense. With my previous use, the purging begun, I want to say around 2 months. This time round, when I started the Tretinoin again after the Adapalene, my skin started purging after literally 2 weeks, and I was not expecting that, and still now I'm like, was it the Tretinoin? But that's pretty much the only thing that had changed. The way I saw it coming was a lot of texture on the side of my face, a lot of spots coming to the surface, kind of like an eruption. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Predominantly on my cheeks, that is an area where I'm very frequently breaking out, so it's not like a shocking area like my forehead, for example. If my forehead started breaking out, I'd be concerned. It's abnormal for me. My chin used to be that area that would consistently freak out and erupt. Has not been a problem for over a year since I stopped Tretinoin and started using Dermatica. I will do a different video on that. If you are struggling with whiteheads or particularly chin acne, I swear to you it's a different kind. I swear to you. So let me just backtrack a little here. When I got my Dermatica prescription, it said to use every night, which is pretty much what I started using because I've been doing the Adapalene, my skin was used to the retinoids. So from that consistent use, my skin then was showing signs of, okay, it's purging. Instead of persevering, I just honestly was like, I can't do this again. I've been through this, I did not enjoy it, and I don't want to do it again. So I fully had a break from Tretinoin. Again, timelines aren't great. I will try and put here, but I think it was around a month that I did not use Tretinoin, and I solidly used benzoyl peroxide, something I'm still using now. Since I mentioned benzoyl peroxide, this is the one I'm using. It's Acne Side 5%. This is the 15-gram one. They have a 30-gram, which is a bit bigger, and this is a leave-on treatment. I use this in the mornings because I've said it through and through again. Tretinoin has those side effects of purging and your skin kind of going through, I think it's called a retinization process, and it's also coined the ugly phase, or the uglies, retinol uglies. Your skin just isn't in its best form. It's pretty much going backwards before it goes forwards. From my previous experience, benzoyl peroxide is something I could depend on. You're probably wondering, why wouldn't I just use this then? Because the two team together, I swear, is something magical. So let's talk about slowly upping my use. I pretty much started going from once a week to then twice a week to then 3 times a week fairly quickly. Essentially, let's just skip to definitely the past 3 weeks where I've been using Tretinoin for 4 to 5 times a week. And it's been okay. What I mean by that is my skin has not suddenly been going through another purge. The one that I saw happening is kind of the most that has happened, and hopefully that kind of stays that way. For dryness, my skin has been okay. It's been tolerable. I've been getting a little bit of dryness around the corner of my mouth here, but nothing major. I put this down to my education now, knowing that what I can and can't do. I don't use actives alongside my Tretinoin. However, I did test out the ordinary peeling solution, and for that I took a break from my benzoyl peroxide and my Tretinoin because otherwise my skin would probably be screaming at me. Also, Dermatica's formula is different. It's got ingredients that are kind of combined to help the skin health, especially when it has a retinoid in there. So I'm pretty sure it includes vitamin E and probably loads of lovely other properties that I will pop up on the screen here for you guys. So this is sounding really positive because after the sudden purge where I then was like, okay, I need to give Tretinoin a break because I need to be in the right headspace for this, to then starting it again, slowly easing into it, then upping my use to 4 or 5 times a week. Currently, I think I've used it about 5 times this week. Redness has not been a problem for me. This definitely can be, but it has not been a problem. The one thing that I did notice is sensitivity, a little bit, nothing to be majorly concerned about. When that was happening, for example, I was cleansing my face with my regular facial cleanser, my CeraVe one, and I was like, ooh, this stings a little, and this doesn't normally sting. So I knew that my skin was a bit more sensitive. I knew that this was probably my skin barrier being like, you know, you need to hold up a little here. And all that needed to be done was to have a break. Have a break from my Tretinoin, have a break from the benzoyl peroxide, just fully have a break. So here I have a product that I love to use on my rest days, resting from Tretinoin, and that is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast B5. I was definitely saying it wrong in my last Tretinoin video, but this, you can see it's loved actually. This is such a nice balm and it leaves the skin feeling super hydrated. I'm going to repurchase it. I feel that it provides things to the skin. Obviously B5, it's got panthenol, soothing, repairing the skin barrier, things that I need when my skin is feeling sensitive and just in general when I'm using the Tretinoin. So no, it's not that I'm using this and putting this on. This is for when I want a break. Now it's not thick and kind of feels icky on the skin, but it has a balm to it. It's got that lasting feeling. It's not one that kind of absorbs instantly into the skin. But I'd highly recommend this if you're looking for a cream or a balm that's going to help on those days with your dry skin and your sensitivities. Fantastic. Going back to my Tretinoin, I have not been buffering, which would be putting the moisturiser on first and then putting on my treatment. I simply cleanse, give my skin a good break, easily 30 minutes break, and then apply the Tretinoin. But that just gives your skin time to fully dry. So I also want to say, in terms of dryness, tell me if you relate to this, but sometimes with dryness, it doesn't really show as much until I put on makeup. And I put on a foundation or a powder, and it really sort of clings to those dry patches, as it tends to do. That's just the nature of these products. And it clings to those dry areas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this area is actually really dry, or there's a lot of dryness around here that I never really noticed. So whilst I'm sitting here saying that I've not seen particularly much dryness apart from around my mouth, I should also mention that I've not been wearing makeup for about 3 weeks now, and in particular foundations, concealers, powders, just not been my thing recently. So where I'd usually see that is when I'm applying those kind of products and I'm like, oh, hold up, there's a lot of dry patch in here and a lot there. The only thing I've noticed without those is on my mouth, but there might be some more that's kind of hidden. So here is my skin during the tretinoin purge, when all these things were happening, when this was going on. Honestly, when I look at that picture, it doesn't even seem as bad, but in my head, I was just like, I can't do it all over again. I just want my skin to get better. I actually booked a dermatologist appointment on Harley Street in London, which is expensive. That's kind of an area that's very well known for the best dermatologists globally. I booked an appointment because I was like, you know what, I just need to proper see somebody, and they need to have a deep look at my skin and find out what's going on. And I ended up cancelling it. I cancelled it. Do you know why? Because I then found out that my appointment was going to be 15 minutes. And I was like, to what extent can you really give me all that I feel I need from you as a dermatologist? For 15 minutes. I get it, you're busy guys, you've got a lot of stuff going on, but the price of this dermatology clinic was around £160. And I don't know what that is in dollars, probably about $220. I will put the actual amount here on the screen, but it's a lot. In all honesty, I'm glad I didn't go, because the other reason that I slowly decided I'm not going to is because I was reading other people's reviews of not necessarily the same dermatologist, but just that kind of route. And I was seeing a lot of people just being put on antibiotics and all these other elements where I was like, you know what? I've just got to persevere with my tretinoin because it is a good ingredient. I've just got to get around it in a way that I'm going to feel comfortable with. And for me, that's using my benzoyl peroxide in the morning, knowing that that's something I'm falling back on. And I personally feel that that is helping the whole journey. So anyway, skin during the purge this time round. Skin during the purge last time round. This tretinoin experience was different, and that is because I was making mistakes. I didn't have a dermatologist team checking in with me, checking how my treatment's going, giving advice if I need it. So it makes a difference. It does. Here, I was applying way too much, way too quickly. I was using spin brush, probably even acids, a lot of things that were destroying my skin barrier. Let's be real, wasn't particularly helping. Didn't really take days off from tretinoin and give my skin proper time to soothe. So yeah, 2 years later, definitely taking it slower with my tretinoin, definitely giving my skin time to heal. I'm happier to go the longer route because I feel that it's going to help my skin overall with the skin barrier, with the health. That leads me to say one thing I've absolutely noticed is a tretinoin glow. Oh my gosh, it's real. So obviously now I have SPF on, which adds a nice dewy look to the skin, or shiny or sweaty as my boyfriend likes to think I am, but it's not. It's sunscreen. Like I said, I take it seriously, so I put a lot on. But the tretinoin glow is real because my complexion is slowly evening out. I can see it just getting... It's not necessarily that my skin is getting clearer in the sense that my marks are still there. They're obviously going to take time to fade. They're pretty stubborn. My complexion seems even, and people say tone, but you know what I mean? Just that overall glowiness is there. It's there, and that's definitely the tret. I'm absolutely okay with my skin right now. You know, there are days where I'm like, come on, like just come on, speed up a little. One side definitely has more pigmentation and tends to get a lot more acne. It's beyond me trying to figure out why. I'm just trying to help my skin heal, and I'm trying to remain positive. I'm putting out the content online. I'm here barefaced. I am pretty much vulnerable for you guys, and I'm here to help. So please subscribe down below if you want to see more. Let's get into some close-ups of the skin and what's going on, and leave it at that, because otherwise I could ramble all day. So that's pretty much how my skin is going. And as you can see, this side has a lot more going on than this side. And the spots that you're seeing are recent as well, like literally came yesterday. I'm not mad because this is the most I've seen all month really, which is really, really good. For breakouts, I've just been using these pimple patches. Very simple hydrocolloid ones. You can get loads of different variations of them. I've got loads of different pimple patches. Please let me know if there's something in particular you want to know about the tretinoin. Leave me a question down below or a comment in general and I will reply to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.